Hello, what's going on everybody, and welcome to another Redstone tutorial. Today I have something really special planned. I'm going to be showing you how to build this thing behind me, which is a completely universal tree farm. It can handle acacia, it can handle spruce, birch, jungle, and oak. And also it has a wither cage, as you can see over here in the corner. I'm going to be showing you everything, including the wither cage and how to build it. I know a lot of you have been waiting on this tutorial for a while. I said that I was going to get it out last Wednesday, and then I said I was going to get it out yesterday. Yesterday, I tried to record, and I tried to record it like 3 times, and I kept glitching up. I couldn't remember how things were built. I kept having issues with this guy over here, which was an absolute pain in my ass. But anyways, now it is finally time to show you guys. So these are pretty much the resources. I forgot to grab a hopper minecart. But these are the different types of resources. A full resource list will be down in the description. But anyways, let's go ahead and hop right into the tutorial. The first thing we'll want to do is figure out where this wither cage is going to go. So what I'm going to do is actually just grab a few blocks and bring it out this direction. And we're going to build it pretty much mirrored to where that is right there. So let's go ahead and break all of these out. Alright, so the very first thing that you'll want to do is get you an empty locator map. You'll look on the map and you'll face to the west, which is that direction right there. So what we're actually going to do is mark that this is the west side right here. And now you want to figure out how high you want it to go. Now, if you want the farm to be like this, then the tops of these logs, which is the highest that the trees will grow, will be 6 tall. You want to have the actual cage part of the wither 1 block above that. So let's go ahead and let's see. This is at Y25. So we want Y25 to be the first piece of bedrock, which it is. So what you'll want to do is come over here. Let's break all of this out. And you'll want to make a 3x3 with a hole punched out of the center, right like this. And then you'll come up and you'll do the same thing 1 more time, and then you'll cap it off, right like this. So you have a little 3x3 cube that has 2 empty spots right there. Now what you'll want to do is you'll want to come down 1 more block and then come over this direction right here. Now remember, the west side, we have to go on the west side, which is that direction right there. So what you'll want to do is come over here with your blocks. That's number 2. So you count this piece of bedrock. That's 1, 2, 3. And on the 4th, this is where you'll start with the T formation. Now you'll get your soul sand in place, right like this. And you'll get your wither skulls, right like that. That should summon the wither in directly in the center of the cage. So this is all looking fantastic. We can go ahead and remove those blocks right there. And now what you want to do is figure out where the pistons are going to go. So this is also really particular. The break spots of this cage, actually, before you do anything else, what you need to do is surround this guy in 1 more layer of bedrock. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Just make sure all of this is filled in so that you have 2 layers between him and anything else. And also on this side right here. And then you'll want to come in the center and add 1 extra strip all the way around. And you'll want to build the farm to the east. So out that direction is where your tree farm will go. So what we'll do now is we'll figure out where the pistons need to go in. So you'll have 2 pistons right here facing this direction. And let's just place some temporary blocks in so that we can figure out where everything is going. Right here, you're going to have 2 more pistons facing the other 2 to kind of like make a feed tape. And actually, these pistons aren't needed. I'm sorry. So those are going to shoot all of these blocks over to here. Actually, I'm sorry, these go right here. So pushing all of the logs toward this right here. And then you'll want to come over by 2 blocks, and then you'll have 2 more regular pistons right here. And that's going to push all of the logs toward the center. Now we can go ahead and break these out. Now what you'll do is, let's say the logs are coming in this direction. So this is the last log right here. So what you'll do is you'll have, let's just go ahead and place in some temporary blocks in this formation right here, because this is the direction the logs will come. So you'll want a piston here, 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 and then 1 more right here. All of these will be facing up. And this is going to be, these are representing your logs. Your logs are going to come this direction. These, actually these also need to be moved over by a block. I do apologize about that. So now we can break all of these temporary blocks out. So like I said, these are representing your logs. So you'll have logs coming in these 4 spots right here. And if you're actually building this, you might want to actually place these temporary blocks in, because it can help you visualize how to build this. So these pistons right here will push all of these 2 top blocks over to this one. And then that one will push it toward the break spots. So right here. And if you haven't watched my wither cage tutorial, you could go check that out, and I explained the break spots and everything in that video. This wither cage was designed by JX67, but I modified the feed tape to work with that tree form, because his 24 game tick tree form, he only grows trees 5 tall. So in this one, this is a 30 tick universal, because it can handle acacia as well, which his can't either. But anyways, let's go ahead and come over here. We'll have, this is where our piston layout will be. So that is the center block of the 5 wide piston layout. So if I come over here, I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. These 5 pistons right here, and then these just connect directly to these 2 pistons. And this is going to be the start of the piston cage. So let's go ahead and add in our redstone dust in this formation, and then we'll have 1 extra set of blocks right here. And now we can go ahead and grab our sticky pistons, and I'm trying to remember. Yeah, okay. So these are going to be a double piston extender here, and then everything after that is going to be just a regular piston. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then this one right here actually needs to go down 1 extra. So we go down to here. And now what you want to do is get your observers, and we'll start placing these in, going up toward the top. And this is the second double piston extender that grabs the logs. And then over here on this side, we'll want to do the same thing, coming all the way down. And only 6 of these instead of 7 like the other one. So then right here you'll have your observers, and then right here is where your regular pistons will go. And now that is pretty much done. Let's go ahead and grab our obsidian. So you'll want 2 pieces of obsidian, 1 right here and 1 right here. And then you'll want a row of obsidian right here. And what that does is it keeps these from being pushed over too fast. It helps speed the farm up a little bit. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and grab our dirt. You'll want to place a row of dirt like this, and also 1 extra piston right here with an observer facing down. right like that. And then you can break that back out. And this goes right here. Now we can go ahead and start working on the back side. So let's go ahead and add this in right here. And fill this with redstone dust right like this. And then we'll have another row right here. Now this part is pretty particular. You need to come this direction, and then in the center you'll come down by one block right here, and then just place redstone dust on top of all of this as well. Now you'll want to get your glass, or you can use half slabs if you want. I choose to use glass because I think it looks nice. And then you'll have redstone dust going up to the top right like this. And that is pretty much done for that piston layout. Now what we want to do is figure out where the rest of it's going to go. But before we do that, let's go ahead and grab our droppers, our dispensers, and our dirt. So you'll have a dispenser facing this direction, and then this right here is where your actual tree will be placed. So let's go ahead and add a temporary block right here. You'll have 2 droppers facing up right here, and 2 droppers facing up right here, and then you'll have the 2 dispensers facing towards where you place the saplings. Now we can go ahead and break this out. You'll come out by 2 blocks, and then 1 block right here. You'll have a comparator, another block, a repeater on 2 ticks, a block, and then we can continue with our glass in this location. And then you'll have 2 solid blocks right here, 2 redstone dust, and you could leave that for the time being. Now let's go ahead and add in these pistons on the back side. So let's go ahead, we'll add in 2 of those, 2 temporary blocks. Let's go ahead and add in these double piston extenders. And these are going to be right here, I do believe. Yep. Alright, so you'll have a row of solid blocks right here. And this row of solid blocks is important because it keeps leaves from growing in front of those observers and updating it, which could potentially break the form. So let's go ahead and add in... Actually, let's go ahead and get all of our pistons in place. So you'll need a 4x6 area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we can go ahead and place our observers in. Going up to the top, right here. Alright, so in the center of that, we'll want to get our regular pistons back out. And we'll place these in this location right here. And then we can go ahead on the top part. We can add our full blocks in, and also add full blocks in right here. Now you could use whatever type of blocks you want, pretty much. It's not really too specific. The main thing to know is some of these blocks will be powered by redstone, so you can't use transparent blocks in certain locations. So anyways, this is where the player is going to stand. So what we'll do is we'll bring this out to one past the pistons right here, and then we'll have these go across. This one right here actually needs to be a glass block, and this wiring is very specific because of signal strength, so you need to make sure you wire this in correctly. So this right here, this is going to power this piston, and then that has to be glass so that the redstone signal can travel on the diagonal right like that. And then we can come over here right like that, add one more glass block right there, and then add the rest of your redstone signal in. Now over here on this side, let's go ahead and fill this in as well. And we have some pillagers spawning over here. That's actually quite hilarious. What are you doing, bro? Bye. Bye, have a good time. Alright, so right here, this is where the other pistons are going to go. So you'll have sticky pistons going across here like this. Again, it's going to be 4x6. Let's go ahead and get these in place. That's 4, that's 5, and that's 6 right there. Grab our observers, place them in there like that, and then also right here. And then in the center, you're just going to fill this up with regular pistons. Now, up underneath, we'll go ahead and fill this in with solid blocks, going up to the top, and also right here, you need to fill this in as well. This is going to come across right like that. Now we have the last piece of the puzzle that we have to do. So we have 1, 2, and then 1, 2. So that is where the back sticky piston is going to go. And you'll want 7 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I did this part wrong, actually, which is, it's super simple to fix. All you have to do is swap this with a regular piston, and then swap this with an observer, right like that. Alright, so now right here, this is our double piston extender that's going to grab the logs. And then you'll need another row of these right here. And this top one doesn't need to be a sticky. So you'll place your observers in. There should be 6 of these when you get finished, which there is. 1 more at the top, a regular piston, a sticky piston right here with a block on its face. Now what we'll do is we'll get our observers in place for this, so 6 of these, right like that. We'll get our regular pistons, facing them this direction, and there's 6 of those as well. And then we'll have another row of sticky pistons, and there's 6 of these. And actually, I thought of something. This right here doesn't need to be an observer because it gets powered directly by this block. So you can have a solid block right there. Alright, so that should be all of the pistons in place. And I built this a little bit off, didn't I? Alright, well, that's actually no problem, because I can move these back to here. And then move these back right here. And I'll show you how to wire these up in a bit. But, I mean, it's pretty easy to swap things around, as you saw, like I fixed it just like that. We'll also need a row of regular pistons going across here like that. Alright, so now it's pretty much the same as my last tree farm. There's not too much of a difference. So you'll have solid blocks here, here, and here. And redstone dust on top of all of these. And then over here, this is where the wiring is very specific. So you'll come out 1 extra from the edge, and this is where you'll start towering up. So you'll go up 1, 2, and that should connect to this glass block right here. And then you can just wire that in right like that. Now, right here, let's go ahead and bring this part out. You'll have 2 solid blocks right here, and then you want to come down by 1 block and have 2 glass blocks here. You'll have a glass block here, redstone dust, a repeater on 4 ticks, a repeater on 1 tick, a solid block, redstone dust, glass block, redstone dust, and that is it for that part. And then this part right here hooks into the comparator, and that keeps the clock off so that oak trees, because oak trees can grow really fast, that keeps the clock off for just the right amount of time to keep the oak tree from growing too soon. Alright, so now we can go ahead and add the piston in for the clock. We can add the piston in for the oak mode, and also the piston for the acacia. So the acacia piston is just going to have a solid block on it right like that. The oak mode is going to have glass blocks going up here to the top. One from the top, you'll want to have a redstone block like this. You'll have a repeater on one tick into a solid block, and then another solid block above that, and redstone dust right here. You'll have a regular piston facing down, right like that. And now we can go ahead and fill in the ceiling. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Also fill those in. Let's bring this out. These can get filled in as well. I would recommend putting a block there to keep that observer from powering. And we can come over this direction. And also make sure you fill this in as well. Alright, so now we can go and add a temporary block right here. A sticky piston facing down. Now, you can use whatever block you want for that location, but I like using a sea lantern because I think it looks really nice. And then go ahead and fill the rest of this ceiling in. And you'll just run the redstone dust to this piston right here. Now the redstone dust needs to be pointing into this block, otherwise it won't work. You can't take the signal out this direction, because then this block will not power and oak mode will forever be stuck in the on position. Alright, so let's go ahead and come back down here. Let's check, make sure we got all of this stuff in place. The only thing left we have to do in here is to add the hoppers in, but we'll do that in just a second. Let's go ahead and finish wiring in these sticky pistons and stuff, all of these piston extenders. So let's go ahead, grab some glass blocks. You'll start the signal right here and do a redstone ladder going up to the top, right like this, with redstone dust on top of all of these. And then right here, you're going to branch off from there and come this direction. And we can start putting in this section as well. So let's go ahead and get 2 glass blocks right here, redstone dust, solid blocks going up to the top, and then a solid block right here to power this piston. And now we can go ahead and start our redstone ladder right here. Make sure you put redstone dust on top of all of these. Alright, so now right here on this edge, we'll put a piston in front of that observer and a piston in front of that observer. And we'll grab some more glass and put one right there and one right there. Now we need to add in these pistons to a different delay circuit. It needs to fire a little bit later than the last, or than these 3. So what you'll do is you'll bring a redstone line out this direction right here. And at the very end you'll have a solid block. You'll have a repeater on 4 ticks pointing into that, connected with redstone dust. Over here on this side we'll have another glass block. You'll have a repeater on 3 ticks into a solid block. And then you'll have 2 glass blocks here, one with redstone dust, one with another repeater on 3 ticks. Now we'll come back over here on the inside, a solid block right there, and we'll put 4 glass blocks in like this, redstone dust on top of both of these, and 2 repeaters on 3 ticks each pointing into that block. Now we can go ahead and wire in these pistons. So solid block there, one there, and one there. So we'll have redstone dust on top of all of these. And we'll build one more redstone ladder going up right here. All the way up to the top. And now this part right here actually needs to be on 2 ticks delay. So what you'll do is right here you'll have a glass block, actually 3 ticks delay, sorry. So you'll have a glass block and then have that pointing into a solid block there, and then right here you'll have, actually right here you'll have a glass block, redstone dust, another glass block, solid block, 3 ticks, and solid blocks across here with redstone dust. Alright, so now down here on this side, all you have to do is take the signal directly from this line of pistons right here. So we'll go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll hook all of these in together. And that signal should reach all the way over here. Alright, so let's make sure all of this has been wired in correctly. Just double checking everything. This all looks good. Everything's wired in. Now we can go ahead and start on the Acacia circuit. So take 2 glass blocks right here, a repeater on 1 tick for each of those, and then we'll come down a block right here and we'll do 5 glass blocks right like that, a sticky piston. We'll put redstone dust here, 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 and here, and then 2 comparators to make a pulse extender. Now right there on the face of that sticky piston you'll have an observer facing up. You'll come out by a block and have a solid block right there, glass block here, solid block, glass block right here, solid block here, and now we'll have 3 repeaters on 4 ticks. Redstone dust here, and now we'll come over, add 2 more glass blocks in here, and 2 more right here. You'll have 1 repeater on 4 ticks, and 1 on 1 tick, and you'll connect those with redstone dust. That is the second pulse extender for the Acacia circuit, because the signal has to be 5 ticks long, so in order for these pistons to fire correctly. Alright, so that should be the Acacia circuit done. It's really simple to add that in. Alright, so now we can go ahead and come on the inside. We'll do a little bit of decorations. This isn't 100% necessary. I do recommend that you label the oak and acacia mode. So we'll have 3 levers right like this: oak, acacia, and the clock. Now we need to add the redstone block in right here, and that should start the comparator clock. So let's go ahead and finish this in. The Acacia circuit needs to add one more thing actually. So you'll have redstone dust here, you'll have a, where's my repeaters? Let me grab a repeater real quick. You'll have a repeater on 1 tick into a solid block right here, and then you'll have glass 2 blocks out, 1 block up, and you'll connect that with redstone dust right here. 1 more glass block, repeater on 1 tick, and then another dropper facing this direction into this dropper right here, and then you'll have redstone dust on top of that right there. Alright, so now we can go ahead and add in our hoppers for the bone meal. So we'll have this come out to here, and then we'll have this come out and around. And actually you can break that one out and then have those going that direction. What we need to do is actually get a hopper minecart to cover both of these hoppers so that each one can get bone meal. And this isn't necessary. You could obviously just have a chest right here, but in order to make it look nice, I decided to use a hopper minecart. So let's go ahead and get that in place real quick. Now, be aware, I will be having a world download down in the description, but the hopper minecart will be glitched out of the block whenever you start the world. So let's see. I need to get a trapdoor. So yes, you will have to replace this hopper minecart if you're looking at the world download. So now you can break that out. Break that out. Let's get 2 solid blocks here. Let's get 2 regular pistons. So place one right there. And I bumped it. That should be fine. And place that one right there. And now you'll want to activate that. And that should hide the hopper minecart really nicely. So now let's go ahead and get our chest. And what else do we need? Get your chest out and place it right here. You'll get another solid block here. Redstone lamp right here. And then over here on the back side, you'll have 2 solid blocks. Have 2 glass blocks. One here and here. You'll have a comparator facing out in subtract mode. You'll have a comparator in the side of that. And then you'll have this go into a solid block that has a torch on the side. And what this is going to do is it's going to enable you to set how much bone meal you want in that chest before the add bone meal light comes on. So obviously there's no bone meal in there right now, but by adding a barrel to this location, or you could use a chest or whatever, barrels are cheaper, you could put however many items you want in here, and then that signal strength will get subtracted from here. So if this has signal strength 5 and you have signal strength 5 on the inside, then this light will not be on until it goes to signal strength 6. Alright, so now that that is in place, let's go ahead and fix our pistons back. Place these right like that. That's all looking fantastic. Now what we want to do is come down here. You'll want to get another dropper, and probably should go ahead and break that out. It'll make things easier. Have a dropper facing up into the solid block, and you can replace the comparator now. Let's go ahead and put a glass block here, a comparator facing this direction, a sticky piston, get an observer and face it back this direction, have another observer facing this direction, an observer pointing into that dropper right there, and then we'll have a torch on the side of this, and that is your dropper circuit right there completed. Alright, so let's see, what else do we need to do? I want to say that is pretty much it. We need to add the hoppers. Let's see. Let's go ahead and add these hoppers in. So we'll have a hopper into the dropper right there, a hopper going down into that one, and then make a row of hoppers going this direction right here. Hopper here, 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 and here. Now over here on this side, it's important to do it in this correct order. So, otherwise, this bone meal line right here can get sticks and saplings and stuff inside of it whenever, if you run out of bone meal. So we'll have hopper line going this direction, have a hopper facing down into there. We'll have 2 hoppers going that direction, and then 2 hoppers like this. Now we need to grab one more sea lantern. It doesn't have to be a sea lantern, I just think it looks really nice. So place a sea lantern there. Plus it keeps mobs from spawning, which is always a plus. You can place some sea lanterns in there to make sure everything is lit up. And now we can finish wiring this wither in. So all of the logs will come this direction. All of that should be good. Okay, that's only 4 pistons. Yeah, that's fine. I actually have these pistons a little bit off, so these need to be moved over yet again right here. Redstone dust on top of all of those. Alright, so now what we want to do is add a dispenser in. Where is it at? Right here. And a hopper. So we'll have the dispenser facing toward the wither. Right here. And that's going to shoot the wither with snowballs so that he breaks the blocks. We'll have a hopper right here. Let's go ahead and get some glass blocks. So you'll want 2 right here. I should mention that this is not, this section right here, you cannot do in a warm biome, because the snow golem that we're about to spawn in is going to melt if you build this in a snow biome. Or, not a snow biome, warm biome. So, savannas, deserts, things of that nature, you cannot build this. This particular section of the farm. So you'll have a comparator set to subtract. Actually, this needs to be out this direction. And it doesn't really need to be in subtract mode. So you'll have a glass block here, not on that side, right here. Redstone dust. We'll have a lever right here, and that's going to go into a block. Turn that on. We'll have a redstone dot right there. Now we need to come down a block right here. Have another piece of redstone dust right there. Solid block. A repeater facing this direction. Solid block here, and a redstone torch right here. And that's going to activate this clock until that comparator is full, or until that hopper is full. So let's go ahead and turn that off for right now, because we need to get our snow golem in place first. So place another glass block right here on top of that piston. We'll get 2 snow layers and a pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern or whatever, and you can cap them off, or you don't have to cap them off, whatever, it doesn't matter. So this will keep the clock running until this dispenser and everything is filled up. So now all you want to do is bring some some glass blocks this direction and connect it to here, and you'll have a repeater. Actually, you don't even need a repeater, you could just have the redstone block or redstone dust right there. And I want to say that's everything completed. So let me just do a once over and make sure I got everything, because this is a really complex build and I don't want to show you guys a broken form. So as you guys can see, this thing is still functioning just fine. That will fill up the dispenser, and then it'll start filling up this hopper, and once it's finished it will turn itself off. So I'm going to go ahead and clear my inventory, and then I'm going to get some bone meal. Let's see, give at self die 1728 15. That's gonna give me a bunch of bone meal. We can go ahead and fill this dropper in, fill this dispenser and this dispenser right here. And in order to speed this up, I'm actually going to grab a few logs, if I can find them. In order to speed up this tutorial a little bit, I'm just going to fill some of this up with some logs. Let's go over here on the back side as well. Because I'm OCD, the logs have to be correctly placed. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna break this one, this one, this one, and this one out. And then also break these two out. Place these two in here and here. And also I'm going to show you guys how to add the item collection, water system, whatever you want to call it. So let's go ahead and get a water bucket. Let's get some stairs. Get some more glass. We'll get... The item collection is pretty much up to you. You guys can do it however you want. But for those of you who have trouble with redstone and things like that, I'm just going to go ahead and show you. Alright, so right here, this needs to be bedrock in order to keep the wither from breaking it. So you need to have bedrock here, those 3 spots, and then 2 bedrock right there. Now you cannot block this dispenser. The dispenser needs to be open. So now right here, you're gonna bring this over, and then you'll have bedrock here. You don't have to have bedrock, honestly, right here. It's not really that needed, but it's good to do it because sometimes the game is just really glitchy and it wants to blow stuff up, even though it's not really close enough. People have been having issues with it, so it's better safe than sorry is what I mean. Alright, so you'll have a chest in there, 2 hoppers, and then this right here can actually be glass or whatever other blocks that you want, because that is definitely far enough away from the wither. And if you have issues with it, you could always swap it out for bedrock later. Alright, so that right there is going to be your 2 stairs, and then you'll have the rest of this filled up with glass. Now what we need to do is waterlog both of these stairs so that the water flows towards these hoppers. Alright, I think we're ready to start this tree farm up and give it a test. You just double check everything is good. That is all looking fantastic. So these 4 logs right here get pushed over this direction, and then these 2 get pushed this direction and then pushed in right here. And if you watched my Wither Cage tutorial, you would have seen the break spot locations and everything that I explained. So let's go ahead, let's get an oak sapling to start off with, and we'll start placing these in. So let's go ahead and do that. Looks like some of these piston extenders are not firing. Did I forget some redstone somewhere? I did. A single piece of redstone right there. You'll probably make the same mistakes. Like, this is a really complicated build. It's easy to miss things. It really is. But this is working really, really well. Let's go ahead and check the chest. Now you guys can see all of the logs and everything are flowing in really, really nicely. But anyways, let me go ahead. Before I end the tutorial, I want to show you guys the Acacia mode, because this is the entire point of me doing this episode, or this video, is the added Acacia mode from my previous tree farm. And then there was a few extra improvements that I did. Why did that log get left? That log is getting left for some reason. That's really strange. This never happened to me before. I definitely need to sort this out before I end the tutorial. Okay, these are getting double pulsed somehow. How are they getting double pulsed? That's the question that I have. Let's see. All of that is looking good. Break this block out. These are looking good. You know what? Wait. No, that doesn't make any sense. That's not making any sense. Why are these logs getting double pulsed? Okay, now they're not. That is extremely weird. Let's try it again. Working fine now. I don't understand. Maybe it was that one block that I removed. Let's see. Everything is working fine now. bedrock redstone at its finest. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.